Hey, Inspire Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. How's it going? It's Jean Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being here with us. Today is a special day. I just can't wait for this announcement to go public and for people and for the world to see this. It's truly a historic day, but let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Let's remind ourselves, Inspire Tribe, we're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. And emphasis today, especially on free, healthy, wealthy, whole, and free. Thank you so much for being here, for your support, for showing up. We love that you're here. The live chat's already going. Welcome on Rumble. Welcome on YouTube. We're just going to wait for a few people to jump on. And then we're going to introduce our special guest live on location because this is a historic day. This is a first of many to come. And this is how we spread, plant, grow, and reap freedom. This is how we do it, folks. So just waiting for a few more people to come on here as YouTube hopefully distributes this live stream. It's still early for a Saturday, depending on where you are, but we're excited for y'all to jump on. I see Lucas LeMay's here, DJ Trump, Charles Lee, Little Light Warrior, Pedro, Laura, AK Amber, Hannah Bia. Oh, good to see you, my friend. Oh, Hannah Bia is she's one of our most wonderful posters on the Locals platform, always inspiring and thought-provoking stuff. Melissa, Darla, Eddie, Anthony, good to see you. So great that y'all are here. Leah, well, you know what? I think it's time. Today's a historic day. And I want to bring and add to this live stream our wonderful friend, soul brother, chief storyteller, and CEO of Food Forest Abundance, live on location with a very special announcement, a historic day today. Let's welcome with me Jim Gale. Hello, brother.
Oh, hello, John. I want to thank you so much for everything you do. You're my favorite channel on social media. So thank you for everything that you do. We are here at Creative Inspiration Journey School in St. Cloud, Florida. We have designed and now we are installing a food forest with some of the staff and the kids and the people from Foresters Financial who have donated the money to do this. And my friends, this is such a historic day, as you've said, when we teach our kids how to be free, how to be self-reliant. And that starts with using our land wisely, and growing food is the foundation of freedom.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. Jim, quickly tell me just a little bit about the school. You said how many students, how old are they, and how excited are they about all of this?
So, you know what I'm just so amazed by? Patty, the founder of this school, it's a big school. There's actually have 700 students at this school already, and they're putting on a new wing. People want to come to this school because this school is a little different. It's not the standard school, right? And I won't get into all those details here, but they love the idea of actually growing food, and then the students themselves will be propagating and working with this food. And then here's what I think is so amazing. They're going to be selling and teaching the community how to grow food. So they're going to operate their food forest kind of like a business, like a nursery, like a Freedom Farm Academy, to help the community be abundant.
Man, that's amazing. And I know you got news teams around today. This is a big day because I think this is a start of something new that Jim, you are working on like crazy just for this to spread like the most positive, most wonderful, beautiful wildfire ever. And we're of course joining in that work. What's happening today? How many plants in the ground, and what's going to happen in the following days and weeks?
I got it. Well, I'd like to introduce Enrique. Enrique and Cameron have led the details, and along with Dr. Ian Scott, our lead designer, they have designed, and this is so important. Every food forest, every thriving food forest starts with a beautiful design. So we won't be able to see the details, but that's a little bit of an idea of what a design looks like. So Enrique, how many plants are going to go in the ground today?
So today we have 200 plants going in the ground with over 50 varieties, of plants. Just today.
That's so cool.
That's so cool, and that's on school ground. So instead of some ugly backyard with the usual weird structures, we're gonna have beautiful life and plants out there.
Yes.
That's exactly right. And I want to show you, since we're out in the field, so a standard, I'm going to show you this area here. Do you see the ornamental plants in the front of the school here?
Yeah.
That's a standard ornamental landscape. All of this is just what we consider normal. Patty is going to turn all of this into food producing plants. Not only will this be a revolutionary school, a school that demonstrates and teaches freedom from the ground up, but it will also provide an epic amount of food and beauty and habitat and abundance. The vibration, the frequency of this school will literally go up. Students will be happier and healthier at the school. And those aren't just hypothetical claims. This has been demonstrated all over the world. Walking through a food forest, looking at nature, observing and feeling and eating poison-free, nutritious food is, again, it's mass adoption of this will cause a reverse in trends of cancer and diabetes and heart disease. It's really a profound yet embarrassingly simple solution.
I love it so much, and I'm thinking currently 700 students. That's a future of 700 families. That's a community that's being influenced by this. That's people driving past the school and saying, "What is this? There's something different." So this is monumental, and this is just the first one, Jim. There are thousands to come across the country, and then millions around the world. We're going to do this, right? We're going to do this right. So tell us, what are the students going to do? How are they helping with the project? And are their hands in the dirt?
Yes, there's all sorts of people that have never had their hands in the dirt, or at least not since they were kids, and they're all digging and planting right now. It is such a beautiful thing. Oh,
It's amazing. And Jim, for this particular project, we don't want to crunch numbers too much, but just for people to understand, what was the cost? I know this was donated, but what was the cost for, or it's going to be once it's done?
the cost of this is about $35,000, and it is in 3 different areas. In fact, I'll show you. The areas you see here represent about a third of the total areas that will be planted today. And I want to, oops, sorry, Stephanie. And Stephanie from Foresters Financial, thank you so much for everything. So if you look at one fruit tree and you take and look at the return on just the cash return on investment, like this loquat here, this loquat might cost $150 to put in the ground, maybe 200. And that would include the labor, it would include the soil, it would include the mulch, and it would include the cost of the tree. Now, in 1 year, that tree is going to be 2 or 3 times the size. Is that about right?
That's right, yeah, as well as the size and how much fruit it's putting out as well.
Yeah.
So you're going to get, an exponential amount of, abundance there.
Yes. And for generations, our great-great-grandkids will be able to come and eat loquat from this tree as long as no crazy government chops it down. So with that in mind, and then at scale, you take this one fruit tree and then you add another one, this avocado tree. Or check out this beautiful avocado. This was donated by Luke at A Natural Farm. And then check out this mango. Isn't this beautiful?
Absolutely amazing. And Jim, once again, everything is planted with the permaculture principles and no pesticides ever used. This is all natural, and this is how nature should work, right?
This is exactly mimicking nature is the answer. Taking out the poisons and replacing the poisons with natural systems that nature has proven forever is the answer to really all of our world's biggest problems, including tyranny.
So rather than like so many public schools that are going to have their landscapers come in and mow the lawn and put the pesticides on, all that crap, this is going to be a thriving natural environment. And in a few years, I would say probably in a year from now, unrecognizable because of the abundance that's going to grow there, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, this tree right here, as it is, it's putting out about 50, fruits in a year. Next year, it's going to be putting out 100 to 150 mangoes. So, think about put 2 or 3 of these, you'll be able to have the whole school eating a mango.
Yeah.
Oh, that is amazing.
And what's the cost of an organic mango at the store? They're probably $4 or $5, right?
Yeah, when you can find them.
When you can find them. So now look at the yield that's going to come from this one tree within 2 or 3 years. This is going to be producing hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of value per year. But what do those dollars really represent? They represent health and wellness and freedom.
Grow in freedom, which is also your motto. This is your mantra: grow in freedom and food forest abundance. And this is also, it's not just schools, Jim, right? It's churches, it's organizations, it is companies that are putting those food forests in. Yes. See, there's so much opportunity. And what is $35,000 for one school? That's a fraction of the football program that it usually costs to run a football team for a year. A fraction.
Yeah.
So
Yep, you're exactly right. This will be, in my studies, my knowledge, my joyful obsession of learning the value of this will be by far the best investment that this school has ever made.
How are the parents reacting to this? What are the parents saying about this project?
They're very excited.
They're super happy. I mean, just today here, we have parents that are, coming together with their children, planting and seeing this in their life, in their backyard, and they're asking, like, wait, how do I get this in my house? How am I able to, take this to my, into my life? So they're super happy, and they can't wait to put it into their lives.
And Enrique, thank you for saying this. How can they do that? How can everyone have their food forest, whether it's smaller or bigger? How can they do that?
So, I mean, with, Food Forest Abundance, we are always ready to help put together a blueprint and a plan, if that's in 1 stage or 2 stages, to really get it going. It can start with a bed, or it can start with a couple fruit trees, a couple guilds, or plant communities, like we like to call it. And it's very simple. We really have a blueprint like this, and we come out with our team and study the property, and then really next day we can start putting fruit in the ground. So it's easy as 1, 2, 3, really.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. And I want to say this is happening in Florida, but this can happen in Minnesota. We talked about this. This can happen in Manitoba. I mean, there are options for every climate zone. Also, when people come in and say, well, we might just want a design, but we can install it ourselves, that's an option too. You're very flexible in that. How can people get a hold of you all?
So at foodforestabundance.com, that's our website. And we launched about 18 months ago. We are now serving people in 15 countries and almost every U.S. state, helping people by designing their landscape to be productive. Everything starts with a thoughtful permaculture design, and then we can either install, or our blueprint is so detailed that you can actually DIY your own food forest if you want. And then if you are that type of person who likes to do that, then we would love to collaborate with you to help your community and your neighbors grow food. Mass adoption of this. Well, Victor Hugo said there's one thing stronger than all of the armies of the world, and that is an idea whose time has come. This is it.
And Jim, the beautiful thing is, and what people don't realize is, this can also be a beautiful organic side business for people, because usually you have so much more fruit and veggies than you can possibly eat. There's farmers markets, there's yearlings, there's seeds, there's a plethora of options to lovingly monetize this too. We don't want to be too commercialized, but it's true. People could really make a very good income from that on the side. Also, Jim, what about people that are money people, say, hey, I want to invest? How can they invest in this? And maybe they're not the hands in the dirt kind of people, but they have money and they want to invest. How can they do that?
Oh, that's such a phenomenal question, John. So we have created the Freedom Farm Academy, and that's the future phase of this food forest, is to create that business model at this school. Now, what is the business? It's the business of growing food during a food supply chain crisis. The value of food relative to fiat is going up, I believe, exponentially in the fairly near future. So being in the business of helping solve one of the most important needs in the world is an absolutely phenomenal business, and it's a phenomenal investment. A Freedom Farm Academy, let's say you have 1 acre of land. You buy 1 acre of land that's not productive. You design and install a food forest, and then you design the off-grid systems for solar and wind and off-grid redundancy. And then you've got a water system, a well, maybe a fence. Now you've got a completely off-grid homestead that can be used as a demonstration center for freedom. And every year that food forest is growing, the property becomes more productive, which means more valuable. It's the most logical investment in the world right now, is to grow food and help other people do the same.
So what you're saying, Jim, is for various types of people, I can invest in freedom, I can be off the grid, and I can also earn an income from doing that and live comfortably.
Exactly right. At Galt's Landing, where we're designing and building our off-grid homestead, we have had probably in the last 75 days $400,000 worth of sales, because when people experience a food forest, then they get it and then they want one. So we're creating these Freedom Farm Academies. In fact, we've got one going up in Thailand right now, another 2 in Africa, Canada, United States, all over the world. We're putting up these freedom demonstration centers so they could spread like wildfire, like freedom needs to spread right now.
That's fantastic, Jim. I know you have a lot of work to do. I have 2 more questions, and I'm going to let you all go and put your hands back in the dirt. So if I am a headmaster, if I'm a principal, if I'm a parent, and or even an investor, and I would just like to help schools put this in, what was the process with this school? How did they get this off the ground? Because there's always a lot of organizational skills involved in it.
Yeah.
How did they do it?
Okay, so Patty had reached out to us through a friend of a friend and said, I'm very interested. And then we reached out to Foresters Financial, who had the money. They said, Jim, we would like to help you put a food forest in the ground. And the synchronicities that are happening around the world right now are absolutely tremendous. So it really was a synchronistic event. If you're listening and you have a church, you have basically, if you have control of any land, then you can reach out to us at foodforestabundance.com and then let us know, and then to investors, and we'll make the match where everybody wins.
That's fantastic. And that's exactly the spirit that you exemplify every day. You are that. So I just want to tell you folks, you see Jim and he's all excited and hyped up. That's who Jim Gale is, the chief storyteller, visionary, and CEO of Food Forest Abundance. You already answered my second question. We put the link in the video description. Also, Inspired Tribe. Jim was generous enough. He and Food Forest Abundance, they gave us a coupon code. You can use it if you shop on their website, or if you're gonna get a food forest or a blueprint, you can save a little bit. And I just want to thank you, Jim, and Enrique. Oh my God, beautiful, beautiful, Jim. I want to thank you. I want to thank Enrique and the whole team for coming on. We love you. We couldn't be happier to break this story today. A historic day for freedom, truly, and many more schools to follow. We're going to change this one property, one piece of land, one lawn at a time.
Thank you, brother. I love you.
Love you all. Have a blessed day. Thank you. Inspired Tribe. That was fantastic. We're so excited. We were talking about this in the previous weeks, and when Jim announced this was truly such a blessing that we could do this today. And we're thankfully connected to wonderful people in various fields that are doing similar things. Our good friend Rory Feek here in Columbia, Tennessee, he's grown food he's got a one house school, amazing little school, and the kids are growing food and they're feeding the chickens and they're learning all about this. But this, of course, this is now on a bigger scale. When we look at Jim, a school with 700 people, 700 students, and the school's growing, and other schools are going to see this as an example and jump on board, and we can really transform what is happening by doing freedom things, by planting seeds, by growing freedom one day at a time, one lawn, one piece of land at a time. So it's just so beautiful. I encourage you to really go to Food Forest Abundance. Use the link there in the video or live stream description. Check it all out. Get familiar with it. You're going to hear a lot more about it in the following weeks, months, and years, because as this old system is coming down and crumbling down, we're not just going to be prepared for that. We're already going to have something new and beautiful in place. All right, tribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. We appreciate you. Wishing you a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll be back with you again very, very soon.